Hey everyone, I'm Emily and this is Emmylou Arts, and today I'm going to do a journal with me. I'm getting into my A6 Hobonichi Techo and I'm going to journal for December 3rd and December 4th. I thought I'd speed it up and have you come along with me. I'll try and mention the things that I use so that you know, in case you want to use them too. These stamps I love so much, and they are called Waffle Flower. And this set is Hooray, and I found them on scrapbook.com. I'll try and link them either there or if I can find them on Amazon. You know the drill. I'll try and find it. I'll hook you up. But anyways, these are like these little funky dunky looking kids, and I got this stamp set because they reminded me of my kids and just how like silly and ridiculous they are. So that is what I'm using on this spread, and I'm using my Stazon Ink. And I like Stazon Ink because if you're not a stamper, Stazon is solvent ink. It's like permanent though. It's fast drying solvent ink. What is it that I want to say? Oh, you can put it on anything, basically. It'll stick, and it's permanent, like it, you can watercolor over it, and it won't bleed. The ink won't bleed. So I was kind of afraid that it would go through this paper, but the Tomoe River paper proved me wrong once again. It did not go through. I'm not a stamping awesome, person. Good description. So as you can see, it wasn't perfect stamping on my part, but they're really good stamps. They're super cute. And I also have a little cat set that is adorable, and I will show you, I'm sure, another day. And I just threw in some of the words that they include in with that set, or not words, the little flowers. And they're just so cute. They're just like whimsical, and I can't even think of the word, happy. They're just joyful. And I went yesterday. The biggest thing that I did really was I went to school and volunteered in Henry's class. I do stuff for his teacher, and then if there's time, I go out in the hall with each of the kids and practice their personal word lists. It's like sight words, words that they need to know how to spell, like didn't and could and would, and things like that. So that was really fun. I love going to their school and seeing all their friends, and I love it that their friends know who I am now. They recognize me and they're like, "Oh, Henry, there's your mom." I just think it's cool. I just love it, and it's fun. So, and there's nothing funnier than first and second graders. If you have never been around a first or second grader, just hold on to your pants, because the first time that you are, you'll laugh your butt off, because they're just hilarious human beings. They just don't censor themselves yet, and I love it. So this just reminded me of them. And I'm using my Pigma Micron I set it out so I could tell you, Pigma Micron 02, in order to fill in some of the lines where my stamping kind of went awry. This pen is also waterproof, so that I knew I could watercolor over it if I chose to. Then I'm using my Uni Jetstream to just write in there. That's what I did for the majority of yesterday, in the daytime anyway. And then I have some of these stamp blocks. There was a scrapbook store that went out of business in my city, and I got that one there. They were closing out when they were going out of business, and so I feel like I stole everything from there because it was all so cheap. So I just used that little speech bubble to say hi, because they just yell at me in the hall, or not yell at me, but call out my name. That sounds like it would be annoying, but it's actually endearing and cute, and I don't know. That other stamp block, I don't know where I got that from. I think that was also from the scrapbook store, that little clipboard clip. And I'm using my mild liners. My mild liners, man, I tell you, those are my workhorses. I'm just writing. I decided to write a little quote, so I'm using the fat tip for the downstroke, and then I use the skinny tip of the chisel point to do the rest of the letter. So it's sort of like hand lettering in that your downstroke is thick, but your the rest of the letter is skinny. But I don't do it with a like a brush pen. I do it with my mild liner, and I just like how it looks. I think it's kind of cool. And then I went back with my O2 Pigma Micron and wrote the rest of that quote. And the quote is, remind yourself that you cannot fail at being yourself. And I love that. I love that because it just reminded me of all those kids and how unapologetically themselves they are. And I just want to remember that going forward, that just, you can't fail if you're true to yourself. If you just, don't act like a dick and be yourself. And you should do okay. Generally what I try and tell my kids, but not quite in those words. I think I have told them that before, except I substituted turd for dick. So I don't know how much better that is, but the message got across, because generally they're not turds. So
don't be a turd and you'll be okay.
All right. I see that we're going along just as usual today. So I am using my water brush pen. That's one thing that I forgot to stick in my Delphonics, and I have put in there since. It's my Bria-Reese water pen. Those are really handy for watercoloring on the go. You don't have to get a cup of water and all that nonsense. So I got that out, and then I'm using my Jane Davenport Glitzy palette and the Brights palette to just color in my little people, the little kids. They're just, oh God, I can't look at them without smiling. Instant smile. So I'm using a green. I think I use Sea Mist in the Glitzy palette for his little shirt, and then I use ink in the Brights palette for his pants. Then for the little girl, I used tresses for her blonde hair in the Glitzy palette, and then what shirt did I give her? I think I gave her a magenta dress or something, and I think it was Fairy Tale in the Glitzy palette, or in the Brights palette. Just pinks and stuff like that. And then putting a little on the flowers. It was just fun. And then I used my, the thing that's pointed at my feet, my space heater, to dry it off. That's making use of what you have. Oh, before I did that, I used my Jelly Roll pen, and it's the teal one, to kind of do a drop shadow on those letters. So basically, you just pretend like there's a light source in the corner of your paper, and you draw a line wherever the light would not hit your letter. So that probably didn't make any sense at all. Just Google drop shadow or YouTube it. There's some artists that can explain it a lot better than me. And then it added more dimension to the mild liner letters, because as they would, lead you to believe, the mild liners are mild. So I got out my paper craft or crepe paper and American Crafts sticker book collaboration journal studio, and I wanted to stick some of those stickers in there, so I left the flip through in so that you can kind of see more of what it looked like, or what the stickers look like, because you know how obsessed I am with it. I think I picked some flowers that kind of went along with the waffle flower stamp sort of theme. Just happy little colors. And then what else do I pick? I don't even remember. Oh, a heart, a navy heart to go above the little kid. And then I think that's it for this page. I think that's the last thing I do. So there you go. And remind yourself that you cannot fail at being yourself. I think that's a great quote. And this next one for the 4th, I'm adding some yellow. I wanted it to be kind of a light yellow because today, the 4th, when I'm filming this, is my parents' 44th wedding anniversary. And my mom wore a very pale yellow wedding dress. She was like a 70s princess icon. She looked fabulous. I'll insert a picture. She was to die for. Foxy to the max. And my dad had an emerald green suit on. An emerald green suit. So the color palette was in honor of their costume choices in the year 1975. So I printed out some photos from my sprocket. This morning I went and had coffee with them, and my mom had gotten out their wedding album so that we could look at their wedding photos and laugh at them. And it was so cool. So I'm such a weirdo cheeseball that I had them hold hands over their little wedding album, and I took a picture of it because I'm just a dork, guys. That little stencil is from, you know how I did that return at Michael's the other day? Well, I did a lap, as you do when you're at Michael's, and I found these little folders in the in their traveler's notebook section, like the funky ones, not the leather type ones, but the other ones with the unicorns and whatever. In the traveler's notebook section, they make folders that you can buy that match some of the sets, and one of them had a stencil in it and the folder. And I bought it because I liked that stencil a lot, and I've gotten a lot of use out of it, actually. So it's got numbers, and I mean, it's not the hardiest of stamps. It's kind of flimsy, but I like it. So I'm just tracing over that 44. I wrote years, and I put a sticker in from the crepe paper sticker set that says, I don't know, lots of smiles or many smiles or something like that. And then this sticker pack was all worthwhile because these yellow flowers just worked so perfectly. They went with the vibe so perfect. They're like vintagey looking, kind of 70s drapery. That's kind of what it looks like to me, and I'm sure that my grandma had something extremely similar. And P.S., my grandma had a high-ass beehive in those photos, and I wish I would have taken a picture of that, but it was the ultimate. I mean, really, there was some height on that sucker. And then I wrote a little quote that I found on Pinterest about marriage that I really liked, and it goes like this. A strong marriage rarely has two strong people at the same time. It is a husband and wife who take turns being strong for each other in the moments when the other feels weak. And I really liked that. I didn't think it was too sappy, and I think it's strong. For a marriage to last 44 years, you have to take turns holding each other up sometimes, I think. So I really love my parents. I think they're a great example of marriage and of loving each other. So
Enough of that bullshit.
So I got my watercolors out again, and I added a little more of that emerald green, the color Enchantress, to the 44, just to balance out that butter yellow and the green. And then I think I stuck some more stickers. Is that it? Am I cleaning up? That would be a first. So there's the stickers. And then, oh, I'm going to show you that stencil. So I'll put a piece of paper behind it so you can see how cool it is. It's got like check boxes and numbers and days of the week. And then this is the little folder that it came in. And I used it to put my stickers in that I put in my Delphonics pouch. And then it just slides super easily in that back pocket so none of my stickers get crunched up. Isn't it awesome? You guys, I mean, can't get any better than that. So that's my journaling for today, and I hope you guys enjoyed, watching me. I like doing a combination of all this stuff, pictures and tip-ins and writing and quotes. So that gives you a little bit of an idea of what to expect on my channel. I'm glad that you're here. Thank you.